Okay, hi everybody. I'll just change the slides now. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to this webinar by the Diploma in Social Sciences in Gerontology. So I'm Sam. I'm the manager and lecturer for this diploma, and I will also be your facilitator for this session. So today we are very excited to share with you about our diploma, and also with me we have Fionn. She's a GEM alumni. Graduated recently. So before we begin, I wish to get to know you better as well. So we're going to have a poll. It will pop out as a separate window. So there will be 2 quick questions for you to answer. Right? Okay, we'll set up the poll now. Okay, first is which group do you belong? So under this poll, we just have to select. Okay, then there will be another question. Why did you join us here today? Okay, maybe just wait for about 30 seconds or so. There's enough time for you to fill it in. Okay, maybe just 10 more seconds. Most of you have already filled up. Just a couple more. Okay, I guess you can stop sharing and I'll just show you the results. Okay, just see that most of you are waiting for your O-level results. There's a teacher, the parents, and mainly from Sec 4, Sec 5, right? And why do you join us here today? Just to find out more about courses in PPE and to determine if the poly education is suitable for you. Okay. Okay. So you can actually type your question in the chat, and Q&A will be after this sharing. We will go through the questions. Okay. Yep. All right. So this diploma, Social Sciences and Gerontology, and the theme is Be a Change Maker today. Yeah, so for this first segment, we'll introduce to you the diploma in Social Sciences and Gerontology. And I'll be sharing on how our diploma can help to overcome challenges in Singapore's aging landscape. You can also look forward to explore the various kinds of opportunities lies ahead in this aging sector. Right after my sharing, and then Fionn will be sharing about her experience as student of the diploma, and we will have some time towards the end for Q&A. So do post your questions and comments. All right. Okay, first, because this is a mouthful, what is gerontology? In fact, over the years, we do have students who, in fact, many years back, some students may not even know what this is, right? But nowadays, I think people are more into what are the courses available. It's actually a multidisciplinary study of aging involving this various disciplines such as psychology, sociology, physiology, culture, and policy, right? These are covering various modules that students will learn over the 3 years with us. Okay, this diploma is actually a part of the School of Humanities and Social Sciences. We call it HSS. And this diploma is known for short. The acronym is GEM, G-E-M. So later in the slides, you'll see GEM. GEM is referring to this diploma. Because GEM is the acronym for previous diploma name, Gerontological Management Studies. And we just continue to keep this acronym GEM because it's nice to hear, right? We'll just keep that. And as part of TP and HSS, which is Humanities and Social Sciences, our diploma offers students an engaging hands-on experience through practicum-based subjects, and also SIP required student internship program, which students will take in their final year, where they will get a chance to plan meaningful activities for older adults and interact with them as well. And as a GEM student, you will also receive opportunities to participate in competitions, conferences, research collaboration with our industry partners. Some of our key industry partners, current one includes HDB, St. Luke's, SGO, Senior Generation Office, St. Luke's Elder Care, and many more. And students in GEM can also look forward to overseas studies, study trips, internship opportunities, programs, or community programs, where basically when our border reopens, they can look forward to travel. Students have traveled pre-COVID to Cambodia for their overseas community program, where they've helped to conduct lessons to primary school students, renovate their classrooms, distribute donated items among the villagers. So for example, in year 2019, our year 2 GEM students went to Tokyo for their overseas study trips, where they explored the aging landscape in Japan. Okay, so to know more about diploma, let's watch a short video. Let's play it.
Hi.
Make sure there's sound, sorry. Okay.
I'm Hasana from TP Social Sciences in Gerontology. We call ourselves GEM for short. Today, I'll be sharing with you what a day looks like in my life as a GEM student. Enjoy! Fun fact, we're the only diploma in Singapore that specializes in healthy aging. Here's a quick look at a day in my life as a GEM student. We usually have face-to-face classes, but today, I'm in the comfort of my home, ready for this morning's interactive online lesson. Simply understanding the psychological and social theories of how we age is not enough, so I'm headed to school for some hands-on experience. Wearing the aging suit allows GEM students to experience the effect aging can have on balance, speed, and range of movement. Time for a quick discussion with my project group before heading home. It's been a long day, but there's always time for some fun with the GEM interest group. I always feel at home with GEM and I can't wait to welcome you into the family. So what are you waiting for? Come join us now!
Okay, hope you enjoy the video. In the video, you probably catch the GEM interest group, or we call it GEM IG for short. That's like our CCA. So typically, each diploma has their own CCA, where students can join and also lead the interest group in future to come up with programs that's suitable for the students in the diploma. So in terms of opportunities in the aging landscape, I mean, this is a sunrise industry because Singapore and many parts of the world is an aging population. So our diploma is aligned with the demands and the needs of the aging population and the silver industry in Singapore. So why study aging? So let's give some background. As I alluded just now, many countries are aging. So Singapore will be super age society. We have everything we want to be number one. So even aging, we want to be number one. Super age society by year 2026 is not very far off. And we are ranked first out of 15 Asia Pacific countries in terms of the silver industry market potential. So key growth sectors are intertwined with aging. These are the growth sectors. Healthcare, infocom, medical technologies are becoming, or they call it gerotechnology. And job sectors as well, healthcare, social services, community care services. And because all these are up and coming, there will be increased government investment funding in these sectors for capability development. Yeah, just a quote here. I mean, aging is a job creating machine. So evergreen or sunrise industry, is what we say. And these are the typical jobs that our graduates will be taking on. Typically, social work associate, care coordinator associate. Those who like research can go into become a research assistant, right? And so on. So as you know, people are now living longer these days, and the challenge was for seniors to stay mentally and physically active, healthy, engaged, and stay active basically. So this also means that we need, or rather employers will need staff to have this in-depth understanding of aging to support the demands and aspirations of this sector. So you can play, students who graduate, they can play a critical role in helping seniors achieve active aging by coming up with exciting programs, initiatives, and services to assist in their, we call this multi-dimension of aging, their physical, cognition, social, emotional well-being. So as such, our curriculum focuses on these three broad domains. We have these health and wellness, social services, and community and lifestyle. So these are the broad domains that's covered in our module. So for health and wellness, we have subjects like aging and illness, physical activities and wellness for older adults, and public health and aging. Okay, so this subject on physical activity examines the structural and physiological, psychological, functional changes that occurs during adulthood. So as a GEM student, you will be able to understand the implications of these changes in order to plan and implement and execute exercise programs for older adults, right? So for social services, we have subjects such as applied social research, contemporary issues in aging societies, community development with older adults, and stakeholder and community relations. So just to highlight the community development in older adults, this provides an understanding of the principles and approaches to community development. So students can look forward to using innovative approaches such as design thinking and how it can apply to these design intervention programs. All right. So for community and lifestyle, this domain, we have subjects like coaching and case management, introduction to gerontology, managing adult life transitions, and civil leisure and lifestyle. Right, so all these studies the various lifestyles of and leisure activities undertaken by the silver population, right, or the older adults population, and it focuses on how their evolving profiles, characteristics, and demographic interacts with current and emerging trends, and that drives demands for the various leisure activities and impact on supporting industries. Okay, these are the up and coming trends in aging sectors. So broadly, we put it as aging in place, lifelong learning, and gerontechnology. So for aging in place, as you know, most seniors actually prefer to stay in their own home as long as possible, as they're able to have the freedom and control over their lives, as opposed to, for example, they are uprooted and to place in a nursing home, right? So this aging in place concept is also economically desirable for policymakers, as it can really benefit the seniors' well-being physically and psychologically as well. So the longer we can keep seniors at home or aging in place, this also highlights the concept of decentralizing healthcare. So rather than always going to the hospitals, we now need to decentralize, move people away from the healthcare system, away from hospitals, and remain in their own home as long as possible and providing home-based services. Right? So if they stay as long as possible in their own homes with supporting services provided, and that could really fulfill the aging in place concept. But we also know that more and more older adults in Singapore are also living alone, and this leads to them likely to become reliant on social care or social services. So this technology can actually enable family members to check in, especially now in our pandemic situation. People, a lot of them are now more used to using technology to check in their loved ones remotely, right? And even healthcare professionals as well can check in on them because they can provide real-time information. There have been also research studies in Singapore that can support aging in place, having sensor networks can monitor the activity levels of each resident and trigger an alert to caregivers in the event of unusual changes in movement, or maybe even no movement at all. Something would be wrong, right? Students who have undergone student internship program (SIP) at the social services organizations noted the benefits of such sensor networks, as social isolation is definitely one of the key challenges faced by Singapore aging landscape of population. So in terms of lifelong learning, to address the challenges posed by our rapidly aging population, government has already introduced numerous policies and programs, such as skills future credits and courses. Some of you may have already partaken in some of these courses to promote active aging. And there are many senior daycares or care centers sprouting out, active aging hubs in Singapore now, which also provide rehabilitation exercises, activities, games to improve the cognitive function, mental abilities, and also physical abilities of the older adults. Okay. Okay, let me just go on to gerontology. So as this term gerontology combines these two fields, gerontology and technology together. And in keeping with trends and developments in the aging sector, our diploma will also shed light on how technology can be incorporated into the lives of older adults to achieve better quality of life. And there's this niche field called gerontology now, which is an interdisciplinary field of scientific research in which technology is directed towards aspiration and opportunities of the older adults. So this gerontology aims at good health and full social participation and independent living for basically seniors, right, to enhance their well-being. So this slide just to show broadly what are the diploma-specific subjects that students will take in the 3 years, year 1, year 2, year 3. So, and there are subjects which allow students to have hands-on experience to work on projects with organizations within the industry. And this kind of subject starts in this semester 2.1, or rather in year 2. Program planning, physical activities, community development, and also the research project. But year 1 is mainly theoretical. So once they have the foundation, they can go on to year 2 and year 3 to have hands-on experience to work with organizations. Okay, so now go to the next section where Fionn will share with you her experience in GEN and how the skills and knowledge that she has acquired over these 3 years have benefited her in her current work. Over to you, Fionn.
Thank you, Sam. Let me share my screen now. Hi, everyone. So firstly, thank you, Sam and Jem, for having me here today. My name is Fionn. I graduated in May of 2018. So I'm here today to share with everyone my experiences in GEM and also in Temasek Poly for you to get a gist of what studying gerontology is like, what interacting with older adults is like, and also what I have been doing after graduation. Yeah. So a short introduction of myself. I'm 24 this year. As I mentioned, I graduated in May of 2018. I then went on to pursue a Bachelor of Arts in Tourism and Events. So you may think that what I did in uni is very different from what I studied in Polytechnic, but GEM also offers tourism and events modules. Hence, I already have some basic knowledge of them when I went on to university, and they really leveraged my interest to pursue them for university. Yeah, but I guess at this juncture, many of you might be wondering about the possible motivations for one to pursue a diploma in gerontology. Speaking from my own experience back then, like after secondary school, like most of you out here today, I always had an interest in the humanities sector, even though I was not exactly sure which area. So, but then what I know was that I was a very people person. Hence, it was one of the main factor that motivated me to choose GEM. Yeah. And also because aging population is a growing trend, even back in like 2014, that was the year I graduated secondary school. So, and also because like I was taken care by my grandparents while growing up. So it is something definitely very close to my heart, and which I believe is the case for many of you out here also, because you know it's the culture in Singapore often sees grandparents taking care of us when we are young. Yeah, and yeah, I feel like it's a way to contribute back to society lah, like by doing something for older persons. Yeah, so currently I'm working as an operations executive at SAL Foundation. It is a non-profit organization that does works revolving around older persons, but I will elaborate on my work experience in the later part. Yeah. So just a brief overview of today's sharing. I will talk to you guys about my favorite school module, our course interest group, GEM-IG, followed by my internship experience and also my working life now. So yeah, program planning is my favorite module back in school. It was a year 1 module, but I think now it's year 2. But program planning is actually, it teaches us about like program conceptualization, organization, execution, and management. So we are also involved in planning the design, the budgeting, the management strategies, and also the evaluation of a program. Yeah, this is a group picture taken with our senior buddies during program planning. So during this module, we plan weekly programs for a group of older persons. In the process of like executing these programs for these seniors, it allowed like a lot of intergenerational bonding, between us and them. We form like a lot of bond with our senior buddy and also our classmates senior buddies. And to the point where I remember when we are outside, we meet them, we will even say hi and like catch up for a bit. Yeah. Then the reason why I like this module was because I feel it's not just about like books and like sit down learning. It's actually a lot of fun, because it gets us to think about like fun activities to cater to this group of older persons, because you know activities for the young and for the old is not the same. So we have to like come up with specially created activities for them to suit their interests. Then we also go through dry run with our classmates to try out those activities. Then we ultimately enjoy the program with the seniors. Yeah, but no worries if you think that event planning is not your strength. By working with your classmates, you guys will be able to plan a great program together lah, because you will help out each other. Yeah, and I feel that this module is of a lot of help when you eventually come out to work in the industry, because every work out there involves some sort of event planning, big or small. Yeah, so the interaction experienced and the knowledge gained from this module were really very beneficial when I came out to work. Yeah, so this is GEM-IG, like you guys heard just now, is like a course interest group lah. So in my year 3 in school, I joined GEM-IG. My position was honorary secretary, where I took minutes of like every meeting and ensured that our programs, our activities are kept up to date and make sure that everything is organized lah, in a sense. Yeah, the experience here actually really helped in my work experience when I came out to work, in a sense like of like taking notes from my boss and being organized for all my like running projects. I also feel that being part of like GEM-IG and even other CCAs in school actually taught me how to manage my time while juggling with my studies. And this was something I did not really get to learn back in secondary school. But in polytechnic, you get this kind of like self-discipline, which is very important throughout your 3 years of like schooling and also when you come out to the workforce. Yeah. What we do in GEM-IG is that we plan diploma-wide events. We often work with our classmates in the process, and that's how we kind of know everyone by the time we graduate, because it's a very cozy batch. Every year, there's only about 50 to 60 intake of students. Yeah, so some programs, for example, are the local community project. So for this instance, over here, we work with St. Luke's Elder Care Center in Tampines to bring the older adults to Garden by the Bay. Yeah. Then I remember we also conducted like sharing sessions for other students to sign up. An example of a session topic was like dementia or like volunteering. The sharing session is like either hands-on, or it could be a talk by external speakers or sharing by students. Basically like whatever topics or talents they want to share with the cohort lah. Yeah, GEM-IG was an interesting experience to me, as I got to try out like event planning, work with more people outside my usual circle, and allowed me to kind of contribute back to my course in my final year of studies. Yeah, it was a very good end to my polytechnic experience. So you might want to consider joining GEM-IG. Yeah, so this is my internship experience. In my 3 months of internship, I was attached to the International Longevity Center under the SAL Foundation. I mainly helped in events planning and program coordination as an intern. So I have a missing picture here. I don't know why, but yeah, I was trying to show you guys like my experience at work. Most of our events were held at Whampoa CC because we have an office based at Whampoa, and most of the older adults we work with live in the Whampoa community. Yeah, so during internship, I assisted a lot in organizing events, which was something I love and I still love. Yeah, often I learned how to manage projects and also help with project coordination. And at times, I will help to promote our programs to community dwelling older adults and also encourage them to participate in our programs. Yeah, the picture taken here was during appreciation night for our program facilitators. Some of them actually look like seniors themselves, but they are actually the super agers who conduct our regular programs in the community. This was the final project I was tasked with before ending my internship. So I had to plan the appreciation night activities from scratch and then host the event at the office. Yeah, there was a lot of like things involving events lah during my internship work. So surprise, no surprise, I'm currently back at SAL Foundation after my university graduation. This picture was just taken in October of last year. So International Longevity Center is an initiative of SAL Foundation. So what we do mostly is research in terms of policy and practice. But when I was an intern, I was not exposed much to research work, mostly the events and the programs. But ever since becoming a full-timer, I had opportunities to work with other departments. This event, for example, it was for the International Day of Older Persons. So we came together to host an event for the seniors in the community lah, because it's the International Day of Older Persons. Yeah. So actually this lady you see in front here, her name is Gu. Her real name is Cai Ping Kai. You might not know her, but your parents or your grandparents might. She was a famous actress for a long-running series back in the 1980s lah. So Gu is now a regular volunteer with us at South Foundation, and she was also our MC for last year's IDOP. Yeah, so as you can see, we involve a lot of older adults in our current work also. So it's a lot about, like, you know, seniors doing things for seniors at the same time. Yeah, other than like exciting events that come once in a while now because of COVID restrictions, on most days I actually assist in day-to-day operations in my department, like programs, events, and also research projects. Coordinating meetings and activities with stakeholders are also part of my work scope. So if you ask me what led me to do what I'm doing now, I feel like my internship experience played a part, definitely. It acted as a huge stepping stone to enter the same industry, even though my degree, tourism and events, was not really related to older adults. Yeah, I felt that I was able to make a change to society in this line of work. I'm not talking about like a very big change, like, the very life-changing kind, but I feel that what I do can mean the world to an older person. There's a quote that says, one person can't change the world, but I can change the world for one person. Yeah. So what I do at work, like I mentioned, sometimes I coordinate and co-organize webinars. I get to work with people from all walks of life, sometimes involving ministers. So this webinar was back in April last year. The GOH was actually Minister Mrs. Josephine Teo. So yeah, in the process, I get to like create marketing materials and also work with colleagues from other departments like community relations. We try to market this webinar to more people, let people learn about the webinar and what are some takeaways they can get from attending. Yeah. And other than that, I also help to plan and execute programs like the community design thinking workshops. So seniors in the Whampoa community, they come together for this workshop, to share like issues they face in the community, and then to brainstorm on possible ways to solve those issues. So the work of South Foundation aims to like improve quality of life for older persons, and also to promote longevity and successful aging. So what we do is we encourage the seniors to share their experiences with us and also one another. Then we work alongside them to identify problems they have, and we also try to come up with solutions together. Yeah. So last year, a workshop theme we had was social isolation. So the seniors themselves, right, they feel that elderly these days, they are very socially isolated, because many elderly, they don't have people to turn to when they need a listening ear or when they have issues. So a group of seniors we work with, they came together to form a group called Care Group Friends. Their aim is to try and befriend seniors in the community, mainly like lonely seniors lah. So we are essentially trying to empower the seniors, let them take part actively in the solution creation instead of like relying on other people to solve the problem. Hence, the work we do are very real, and it can bring direct impact to the community around us. And in a way, these seniors are bringing about the change themselves by befriending other seniors, looking out for them, and helping them when the need comes. Yeah. So if you ask me how did my favorite module in school, which is program planning, how did it help me in my current line of work? I feel that planning events suited for the elderly in school had provided knowledge on how to cater activities to them and also how to engage them better, because like we get to learn what they are responsive to or what are some things they don't really like. And in fact, I feel that the multidisciplinary approach of the course, because we not only learn about program planning, we learn about like marketing, sociology, psychology, gender issues to like contemporary issues in aging societies. This like diverse range of modules actually like benefited me because I get to learn all the things that involve older adults. So when I entered this industry, I had the upper hand lah, because I kind of know like a bit of everything, and it gave me like this advantage to when I entered the workforce in a sense. Yeah. So if you ask me what I enjoy most in my career, I would say that the fact that I get to work on like various projects from research to community development is because, you know, I have prior knowledge in them, and it's very rewarding lah to see the elderly enjoy what we do for them. Yeah. So these are some statements that I extracted from the elderly at work. So they continue making friends, widening their social network, and learning new things at old age lah. Some people feel distant and unfamiliar with older adults, which is completely normal if you do not have seniors you are close with growing up. But these statements prove that they are just like us. Age is ultimately just a number, and they also can be productive and they can contribute meaningfully to society even though they are elderly. Yeah, the way they impart their wisdom to each other and also to the younger generation makes it meaningful to be in this line of work. So one thing that especially touched me in this line of work is when, during the pandemic, an elderly person told me that she sincerely appreciated me for calling her up to check on her during the pandemic, because some of them are very lonely, they live alone, and they don't have close friends or family to stay in touch with. So it is especially hard for them during COVID when they are cooped up at home and they don't have anyone to turn to lah. So just your 1 hour or your 30 minutes spent on them on the phone could be really just, a motivating factor for them to get through another day. Yeah. So I could tell the gratefulness in their tone when they asked me, like, thank you for calling me. Did I overshare today? Which I would always say no. Thank you for like sharing with me. If the situation improves and we can resume our programs, I will make sure to give you a call and please join us if you can. Yeah. So this picture was actually taken during open house also in 2017. I enjoy joining open houses to share about GEM and how you can learn many things in our course that will give you an edge in the workforce lah. So I feel that personally, this industry definitely has a lot of potential and is very like relevant in today's age, because in many countries, especially Singapore, we are facing an aging population. Yeah, do you know that like fun fact, 1 in 4 persons in the Asia Pacific region will be 65 years old and above by the year 2050. So that's about only like less than 30 years to go. So you can see this industry is really like evolving and fast growing lah. Yeah, so I feel that the skills and knowledge gained from the diverse modules in GEM is very unique, very extraordinary, because not many courses out there you can get to learn about so many different disciplines within 3 years. So I have no regrets choosing GEM lah, in a sense, because it really helped my work experience, what I'm doing right now. Yeah, that's all for today.
Okay, thanks, Fion, for your sharing. You have really come full circle.
Yeah.
Studied in GEM, went on to your degree, and come back to some foundation. I mean, aging cuts across all industries. So if you say you study a course that focuses on aging, it's not relevant, interest or what, but eventually I would say the knowledge and skills gained here, one way or the other, will be applicable in wherever you are doing in the future, especially in age society in Singapore and many parts of the world as well. Okay. All right, thanks. So now we go on to our Q&A, question and answer. We can have 15-20 minutes of time with that. Okay, let me have a look here. I mean, one of the common questions that we usually get was like, what kind of organizations offer internships with this diploma? Okay, and where can I work upon graduation? Very similar. So SIP or student internship program organizations and industries or companies that students can work are very similar. And usually the organizations that offer internship programs fall into the broad categories of earlier I mentioned health and wellness, community and lifestyle, right? Yeah, I think these are the broad areas. So under the health and wellness, it could be any hospitals, NTUC Health, St. Luke's Elder Care, if you want to do research, it will be NUS. Yeah, and for the community and lifestyle part, it could be People's Association, Housing Board Development Board, sorry, HDB, right? Even Silver Generation Office, SGO. We do have a Science Centre Singapore as well, National Library Board, and so on. Okay, for social services sector, can be a domain, it can be senior activity centers like Lion Defenders, Touch Community Services. Yep, okay, these are the typical organizations in the for internship and possible work as well after graduation. Okay, that's for jobs. And another popular questions would be, would I be able to pursue a degree upon graduation? And what kind of degree programs will be suitable? I mean, these are real life aspirations. A lot of students who want to pursue higher education, degree, and even after that as well. So no different from our alumni. Some of them do take a gap year. Maybe they will work a couple of years or 1 year or so in industry before they go on to see to further study in the area of interest, right? And alumni have gone on to further studies in local and also foreign institutions. NUS, NTU, SMU, SUSS, and SITs are up and coming also, as well as universities in overseas, Australia, UK, and others. So degree programs that are relevant typically includes the arts, social sciences, psychology, sociology, criminology as well, social work up and coming. Yeah, those who like communication may go into media and communications, education, business related stuff, hospitality. Definitely health related degrees as well, like occupational therapy, physiotherapy, even nursing is possible. I think there are some questions for Fionn. Okay, were there any challenges, Fionn, while working with the older adults, and how do you think your time in JEM helped you to overcome these challenges?
I feel that at work, I get exposed to, I mean, obviously many more older adults compared to my time in school, because the problems are very real lah. The seniors in the community, you get to meet like some really, as in, you know, it's not very smooth sailing sometimes, the problems they face, the interactions you have with them, but part and parcel of work. You don't get to meet nice people all the time, but I just learned how to like interact with them nicely, because I feel that you have to be nice for them to reciprocate lah. And of course, back in school, there were not many instances of like this kind of seniors to interact with, but you get to learn how to like handle or interact them in a sense when you meet them. I mean, learning how to like avoid the things they don't like. For example, some people really dislike photo taking at old age. Maybe because they don't like to see how they look at, they would compare to their younger times and stuff like that. So you have to pick up this kind of like social cues here and there. They might be very kind of subtle, but you will learn lah as you go through it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a related point, that is challenges at work, but maybe what are the biggest challenges you face while you are in Gen or poly life, and how do you overcome that?
Biggest challenges faced in Gen, I would say it's more of like modules that I'm not very good at because the course is so diverse. There's so many different disciplines of modules. I tend to be better at like the program planning, the marketing, and like physical activities maybe, but not that good at sociology and community development lah. So mostly when I'm faced with like difficulties in my academics, I always turn to either like my friends or teachers for help. It's very, very simple lah, because in secondary school, when you are not very good at something, you go for tuition. But in polytechnic, you are very independent. You are really like, you have to kind of rely on yourself to understand the topic, and also get like as much first-hand exposure and experience working on the ground to understand these issues better. Like community development, we got to go around the MacPherson community to get, basically we interacted with seniors on the ground. So that's how the knowledge gained from there will benefit you when you are like doing the actual like writing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have this question from Celestine. If one only speaks one language with no second language or dialect, would it be a huge hindrance? Maybe let's take this first, and if you have any ideas in your work, you can also share. So actually, this is a very common sight where we see in our students. And even though Singapore students take second language, but usually a lot of them are not very strong. And in group projects, it's always that one or two in that group who has a stronger second language foundation. That could be a gem, especially during interviews. I mean, group work, usually they may have to speak or interview older adults, and if the older adults don't really speak English and requires a second language, then this student who is stronger in a second language will take on more work, apparently. So in studies point of view, I don't think it's a huge hindrance. In fact, we do see a change in the profiles of seniors. Of course, the late 70s, 80s and onwards, a lot of them are not educated. They are still relying on non-English languages. But the up and coming seniors, the 60s, early 70s, a lot of them have education already. We call them the baby boomers. With education means they know English, they are familiar with technology. So that's what we are seeing now over the years. So I would not say it's a huge hindrance for the studies per se, right? Fionn, how about in the industry wise? What do you?
So personally, I'm okay with Mandarin, so I don't really have like hindrances when I interact with seniors on the ground, but I do have colleagues and also like interns, also from Temasek Poly. They now like, you know, a full circle, that kind of thing. So some of them only can speak one language, and I feel that to a certain extent, you might not be able to communicate with the non-English speakers, because of course a lot of elderly we work with are Mandarin speaking lah. Some of them only can even do dialect. They can't even do Mandarin. So that part I also have difficulties, but it's not a very huge obstacle, because sometimes they will understand your body language, and is you always have like colleagues to help you out lah. So everyone combined together, the senior always understands like what we are trying to tell them, what we are trying to inform them. And body language is a big thing lah. You know, when you do exercises together, you can take the lead. If you're not Mandarin speaking, you can, you know, do the exercise, you can lead the exercise, that kind of thing. So I would say to a certain extent, yes, but it is something you can work on. It's not a huge hindrance where, you know, if I can't speak Mandarin, I cannot enter this and in this industry. It's not like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Let's see. Okay, maybe for Fion, maybe just give an advice for those who are still undecided, don't know what to do during this. This is a crucial time, right? Everyone is just looking up for what to do in their poly life. Any advice you would give to these people?
I would say many of us we went through the same thing lah when we were entering poly, you know, because we in secondary school, most of us, we, you know, follow this certain route. We don't really worry about what we really need to do, except whether we want to choose like geography or history in school, right? But once we like graduate secondary school, there are literally so many courses available in polytechnics, and even more if you're considering like junior colleges. But if you're still undecided, I would say narrow down to maybe the school you want to enter first, whether you're interested in the sciences or the business or like the humanities. So this will help you to like filter your choices and really like determine what is your interest, and like talk a lot to your family, your friends, because some of these people will have like first-hand experiences in the industry. They will be able to advise you better. And of course, like back then I talked to also like lecturers during open houses to learn more and get their advice. Then they will give honest feedback, like whether your strengths and weaknesses are suitable for this course. Yeah. So, and honestly, I would say GEM is not a bad choice if you are still like in a conflict, because we have so many modules. So you can take your time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the beauty about GEM is it's an interdisciplinary module. Right? So it covers various domains and disciplines. So it's people who are undecided, because they have various interests as well. So this could be something for you. And it's a sunrise industry. One way or the other, I would say, in whatever you do in future, that there will be some applications that you can learn, you can apply in your work, especially in this course here. Everyone is aging. Right? Okay, I guess we have reached the end of our session. So for further information about the course, you can always go into our website to find out more. The Diploma in Social Sciences in Gerontology, the minimum cutoff point and things like that. All right. So before we leave, I just want to share some of the GEM socials with you. yeah, Gem IG, Gem Instagram website, and also TikTok is something that we are moving into recently. All right. So thank you for your time and enjoy for the rest of the day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.